All right, hello and welcome to the return of A5Evening. We are glad to be back. Thank you for bearing with us as my health has been abysmal lately, but that's what you get when one of your hosts is disabled. So tonight's guest, we have Mike Myler. But if in case you don't remember who we are, I am Grant of Broken Synapse Press. That's an A5e supplement publisher run by me and my spouse. I'm also an A5e narrator and one of the datamancers or data gremlins of the A5e data sheet and or database, whatever you prefer. Allie, you want to reintroduce
Yeah,
yourself?
I'm Allie. I'm one of Grant's players. I'm mostly here for the vibes and to learn a lot. I'm still pretty new to the system.
And introducing, we have Jen. Jen, you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself?
I'm Jen. I am one of the other datamancers. Recently upgraded myself to name partner data gremlin. Um, I like to think I'm creating content, but really I'm a hype person. One day I will publish something. One day. Um, Longtime player working on being my own narrator, but again, that whole I'm going to write something one day. I'm eventually going to build my worlds with my own standards.
Love it.
All right,
But I am here for the vibes and to learn and to help along.
wonderful. And Jen will be helping us out kind of on the regular here. So, welcome, Jen. Thank you.
Thank you. Love it.
And our guest today for our author promotion segment is Mike Myler. Mike, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do, what you worked on, and what other things you'd like to share?
Yeah, I was the project manager for Level Up. I took care of all the editing and commissioning for the Adventures Guide and Trials and Treasures. Um, but I've been doing this like full-time freelancing RPG stuff for over the past decade. I got some Ennies. I'm an instructor for the RPG Writer Workshop and Storytelling Collective, and the editor for Insider. And then I make I'm like a design studio that does everything except illustrate. And I'll make a book, put it all together, crowdfund it, and then hand it off to somebody who goes and sells the book to distributors and all that.
Oh.
I cannot ever keep all of the credits pages.
No,
Yeah, no,
never.
don't worry about it. No, it's awesome that you do anything. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. Forget it.
So you've worked on all of that stuff, like I said, and then like you said, the two of the official books, including Trials and Treasures, which is
Mhm.
basically, I think, I can't say for sure, but it does seem to be everyone's favorite level up book.
Oh, that's awesome.
I
I'm
mean, I know
glad to hear that.
Mike Shea of Sly Flourish talks about it, and it is definitely it was his book of the year it came out, I believe. If
Yeah,
you're familiar with Mike Shea, so
yeah, yeah.
that's pretty high praise,
I
and
remember that.
it's definitely it is the best DM's book I think that I've ever read. So
That's great. Yeah, Peter did a lot of the like advice article stuff in there for like how to deal with when you have your own like demagogue at the table and
sure,
stuff
yeah,
like that. Yeah, and then Leon Barilaro, the one they just got hired by Wizards of the Coast as like a lead designer, I think it is, was on the exploration team, and we did like 7 or 9 iterations of the journey rules before we finally like hit the thing that you all see in the book.
sure,
Yeah, no, it was a. I'm glad people liked it. A
yeah,
lot of work went into it.
yeah, and it does show. It does show for sure.
Yeah,
So yeah, you've worked
and
on
that
all that
Plain
stuff.
Strider's journal is my jam too. If you got Plain Strider's journal,
Yes.
yes.
Anything other outside of A5e that you like to mention? I know you mentioned the storytelling collective, which is a thing that I am occasional subscriber to.
Yeah, it's a good.
Oh,
I mean, I teach a course for making campaign setting primers, and then there's like an advanced course for making it into a whole campaign setting, including some advice for crowdfunding and like publication and all that. And then I have a course on class design as well,
yep.
which well,
That is the one I subscribe to or
oh,
signed up
cool.
for. So I did sign up for that one. I
It's
like
in
it.
my
Right, yeah.
like 8 billion tabs that I've
Yeah.
haven't
Well,
closed out yet.
I do office hours on Fridays, so
There you go. And then, so for those of you who are, this is new, you're new to A5Evening. This is not a news show. This is a fan show. I may make stuff for it, but I am here to, like Jen said, I'm a hype man more than anything else. So like if you're like these aren't hard hitting questions, well that's not what I'm here for. So,
Wait till my segment. Dun dun
right?
dun. No, I remember the first time I think I've like noticed Mike's name was on a Gay Pass Gazette, and it was Muppet themed items. And
I remember that
That's so
article.
fun.
I was stupidly excited. And
you're
then I went
talking about
all
the
back.
elusive chicken. You're
Yes,
talking about the
chicken.
elusive chicken. Yeah,
Yes.
Camilla. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was like the one I was like, first off, greatest magic item ever created right there.
Right? It's so perfect.
Then I went back and I'm like, okay, great. This is why. It's because Mike is just so good at this. And went back and like started mentally cataloging, and it was like, yeah, nope, this is great. Gotta listen to this guy. He made Camilla the chicken.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
what?
who is the Camilla the chicken? I am not familiar with this.
So in the Muppets,
please.
Gonzo is the hook-nosed purple alien.
Right.
Camilla is his girlfriend. Camilla the chicken.
Okay.
She's just a chicken. Like she's
just a
a
chicken.
Muppet. She's a Muppet, but she's it's not like a weird. She's just a chicken Muppet.
Yeah.
And this is now a part of A5e.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. Brilliant.
Although really, really skull goblets. If you want to look for my mark, it's skull goblets.
You're
That
right.
makes
For
sense,
yeah,
that's
keep
right.
researching.
All right, and I know you do have a Patreon. Again, all these links and links to Mike's projects will be included in the show notes. But yeah, you do have a Patreon. You want to talk a little bit about that before we jump into your new project?
Yeah, I do. I think it's for a couple more months, up and through April. I think it is. I have like every month it's a release of like 4 or 5 NPCs and monsters. And then other stuff gets on there, archetypes, anywhere, anything that has to come off from somewhere else, like that gets cut, makes its way onto the Patreon eventually. And sometimes I use it as like a design space beforehand. So you'll see stuff that goes up, and then I'll disappear it 6 months later because I worked it into something.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of like my sculptor's table.
Nice, nice.
Cool.
Where you get to play and share things, and I like that. So
yeah.
And then you also do looks like you do a podcast as well. I checked out an episode.
Yes, we're not good about the podcast part. But we do a Twitch show that makes its way into YouTube, and we'll eventually get into the podcast. It's me and Zan, Savannah Broadway, who's the editor for Gay Pass Gazette, and then Keem Favor, who has worked on Level Up and a couple of other things. It's mostly news and stuff, although we have started to do design episodes where we work on Shadow Wizard Money Bunny Gang, which is like a little D6 indie RPG where you play as technologically cursed rabbits who use magic to hijack mice in a cyberpunk world to get themselves money so they can cast spells.
That sounds fabulous.
That does sound fabulous.
Right,
I have not heard of that one, but that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
it said it right on the tin, but I didn't believe it until you described what was on the tin.
Yeah, we're working through it. We have the basics worked out, and the next episode in like a week and a half is going to be like world design, and then we'll get into the weeds.
Cool. Sounds great. All right. So that introduction's out of the way. Now we get into the author promotion segment. Mike, you have a project coming to backerkit here on January 20th called The Complete Class Compendium. I believe I'm missing a subtitle there.
No, you got it, I think.
Okay. 12 new classes for Level Up, A5e, and D&D 2024. So, Allie.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is my favorite part.
Yeah.
I love creative process stuff. So I guess I wanted to learn a little bit more about, just kind of if you could maybe give like an elevator pitch, summarize the book a little bit, but then get into some of like your inspiration and that kind of stuff for all these new classes and additions.
Summarize all 12 quickly. First one's Bloodweaver. That's like blood magic, right? That's real obvious. Next one is, I remember all these by heart, Diabolist. The Diabolist is like a better version of the Warlock. So if you play Marvel vs. Capcom, and you ever played as Blackheart, that's a perfect encapsulation of what it is. And I'll go into greater detail about elevator. Doctor is what it sounds like. There are different archetypes that really deviate away from Doctor, but that's the basics. And then the exemplar is like if you were Link or Simon Belmont, just like a classic hero who is good at being a hero. The freak is there's the Feywalkers. Feywalkers, people call it Peter Pan. I feel like that is not fair, and it's more than that, but it's very like chaos based. A lot of entropy involved, a lot of randomness. And then the freak is somebody who's transformed by outer sources they don't have control over, and it's not a good transformation. The Gemini is a agile fighter that's binary, so what you get bonuses half the time that are one way and half the time the other way, and then informs your role playing. And then the mad scientist is what it sounds like. Mechanic is power armor, and then the occultist is you choose what you transform into and you do it on purpose over 20 levels. And then the scrapper is like a tech wizard, but makes every that's the scrapper scavenger tech wizard. It's harder to the scrapper is a little bit difficult to do in an elevator. And then the speedster again, exactly what it sounds like.
So yeah, what inspired you with some of these? I love all the kind of nuances and additions here.
Okay. Well, they most four of them appeared in 2099 Wasteland, which is one of my campaign settings. It's like a love letter to Fallout. So the Doctor, the Mechanic, the Scrapper, and the Freak are all straight out of there and have been like redeveloped and tweaked based on many years of play in the Wasteland. But that's like the core. So if you get transformed by radiation, then you end up having to pick up levels of Freak. And yeah, so that's where those started. The other ones started for E-Insider, actually. So one of the first gigs I got for them was writing The Occultist for James Heck, and then also the Gemini and stuff because they did more. When I came on as editor instead of like just as a writer, we did another classes book, and that's where a lot of the other classes came up, like the Bloodweaver. No, the Feywalker was first. Yeah, the Bloodweaver. And then there were other ones, but I wasn't involved with those other ones. Like so, Cardcaster is amazing, and I would love to make for Level Up, but that was by Josh Gentry, and I would feel weird just like OGLing it, right? So it's only stuff that I came up with,
Well,
and the rest of them
12 is a lot as well.
yeah, 12 is a lot.
It's already just huge.
Yeah.
The Speedster was made specifically, and Last was made specifically for the course I teach for RPG Writer Workshop as like an example in the course making. Yeah.
I was wondering, I was like, am I watching too much Fallout or is this reminding me of Fallout? So I appreciate that you said that because I was definitely getting those vibes as I was looking over it earlier.
Oh no, I lost my mind when Fallout 3 came out.
Sure.
Oh my god.
Right? Awesome. Well, okay. So there's 12 classes. I guess can you go into maybe a few that you are really your favorite or do you think players would really like to use? Just I guess go into a little bit of that for us.
I think players would probably enjoy the Bloodweaver the most. Though that and the Exemplar. Those aren't the ones I like the best. The one I like the best is the Gemini for like role playing purposes because like I'm a big fan of comic books and you just like throw a domino mask on any Gemini character and it's pretty much their superhero. Because like if you're an Ixemeron, for instance, is the archetype, then at day you get certain like strength based bonuses and stuff, and then as soon as night happens, all that stuff changes to stealth. And let's see, the Atavis is a really cool one. So every day, time you finish a long rest, you roll, and like maybe you feel youthful and stuff, and so you get all these youthful bonuses that are physically based. Or conversely, you feel really old, and then all of your bonuses for the day will be intellectual stuff. And that's just like really fun, like route for roleplay for me. Like having just a little bit of boundaries on the sides. But for like actually playing and like rolling out combat and stuff, the Diabolist is really cool. Originally, the Diabolist was really simple. It was just a summoner, right? Like that's what a Diabolist is. It means somebody who like conjures demons and stuff. But at the table, that sucks, right? Because what ends up happening is you, the Diabolist, are actually like 5 characters because you summon 4 characters, and you're taking up as much time as everybody else playing the game. And while fun for you, is not great for everybody.
Yeah, right.
So I retooled the whole thing, and it's much more like one of my favorite abilities of it was like you open a portal and just like a thumb, like Godzilla's thumb shows up and picks something up for like a minute and then leaves. And like that's the exploration knack, and that's it. And that just feels way more like I have actually made pacts with these huge otherworldly powers than like, hey, Eldritch Blast. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
I like the Dablist a lot.
And what about maybe for narrators? Again, there's a lot more. I like the radiation effects, that kind of stuff. What else would you add for the narrators?
There are a bunch of spells which are fun for everybody. a few creatures, but the Blood Weaver, I don't know. I'd be really tempted to do like a big bad evil guy as the blood using the Blood Weaver class. But no, I didn't have too many exploration hazards. Radiation's really cool and really fun. I think it's the kind of thing that like level up narrators will enjoy. So the way that works is the higher the level of radiation, the more magic it impedes. That's like non-necromancy magic. So if you're like a 10th level caster, that kind of reduces you down. Say it's like a mid-level radiation down to like cantrips. If you're a 20th level caster, then maybe you're down to 5th level spells. But and like the degradation effects for it, yeah, it's all very minutia based and kind of appeals to like if you enjoy supply, you will fucking love radiation. And then the other narrator thing that's cool is the settlement and like world generation. So there's rules for building settlements and then rules for generating like the world the players are in as they explore it, and like the resources in that world and how they can utilize those resources to build more and bigger settlements and then go out further and so on and so forth. That's a really rewarding mechanic I've used a few times to great effect and strongly recommend.
Good.
I love that the radiation, like it can, it stacks and it goes up because the variety of the mechanics in A5e that go from 1 to 7 or 1 to 5 and have differing effects based on that is so engaging as a player because you kind of have to like make that choice of, oh, can I afford 1 level of fatigue or can I afford 1 level of radiation or things like that. It's one of those changes that got made that is, again, it's just the coolest thing, and I really love that you've put in a new stacking mechanic. As I am Expedition 33 trash at the moment, throwing on burn stacks and all that stuff, you know, great fun as a player to receive, great fun to put on. And I love that it's in there. And I had to say it because I was like, that's the greatest part. I almost like was like, oh, classes exist, but no stacking radiation.
Yeah, I wanted to make it like Void Runner Codex friendly, but not all Void Runner Codex is out in the SRD yet, so I can't like
Yeah.
I couldn't use the combat maneuvers and psionics and stuff. But like yeah, there's a couple like cyberware items in there too, and like iodine pills and you know if you're trying to do a
Yeah,
little Fallout, I got you covered. I got you covered.
it was a really cool blend of how you put everything together in one singular book where like I know even myself and my insane need for organization sometimes I would have never wanted to put Void Runner compatible items in the same book as like base fantasy.
Yeah,
And it doesn't scratch my brain itch, but the way it got put together and even as it's written is pretty clever in how you did that and it was pretty nice.
thank you. It's less useful for the GMs, but there's also like custom like make your own weapons rules, which I've seen
No,
people
so
lose their minds
GMs,
over.
as a narrator, I love that because it enables my players to do stuff.
That's exactly it. It's about like instilling agency and like maybe your little weird ass bolt gun thing isn't quite as good as their rifle, but like it's yours and you made it. It
Yeah,
does that weird thing you wanted it to do. So like yeah,
exactly.
So now on to my thing, which is the logistics type questions.
sure.
So campaign starts when, ends when?
It starts Tuesday, January 20th, and it ends. I think it's Friday, February 13th.
Friday, February 13th. Okay.
Yes.
Why'd you pick backerkit? Just curious.
Kickstarter. I've done 17 Kickstarters or something like that.
That's what I
A
got.
lot of them.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and it's they're not doing quite as well as they used to. So I thought, wow, I might as well try backerkit and see how it goes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then when can we expect fulfillment? Are you trying to stick close to what ENP normally does, which people
Yeah,
will get it as soon as your
PDFs
project ends?
right away, and
Okay,
then some of the stretch goals will have to wait because of reasons I don't want to disclose.
fair enough.
And then books will be in March, like
Books in
physical
March,
books.
that's fast.
I got
That
the
is
proof
fast.
is I ordered the proof last week, I think it was.
Very nice.
Two proofs actually, because one soft cover, one hardcover.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
wow, that is fast turnaround. Good job. I got a thumbs up for me on that. That's nice and quick.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I did. I've done them a lot before, and perspective is good because it gives you more money and to play around. You can be a little more careful with everything, but like it's just way better to like have it done ahead of time, instill confidence, and then like work on cooler stuff if you do well enough to get stretch goals. Like
Fair enough.
that's where you can start being a little.
Fair enough. And then a project of this size, obviously, you couldn't do it all by yourself. So, did you want to mention some of your co-authors on here, or
Yes, yes.
people that helped?
Anthony Alipio came in with Peter Martin and Keen Favor, and so all right, yeah. So this all started in 5e versions. I developed it all into like nice level up versions, and I wrote a couple of the exploration acts and social features just to give them like a starting point. Then they all came in and redeveloped the classes again. So they got 2 phases of development because I want to make sure I wasn't like completely off whack. I wasn't. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And yeah, then they wrote the rest of those features. I gave them the edits, and yeah.
Very nice. And those are, like we said, those are friends. Some of those are friends of the show or future friends of the show, and some big
All
names.
core level up team too.
And then we did get one audience question from former friend or current friend of the show, Jim Temple. He asked, the Gemini class is in the free preview, which is on the backerkit site. And a 5e version was previously released in Vast Kavaya. I think that's how it's
That's Cavia.
Cavia, thank you.
I'm not good at pronouncing this.
Yeah,
My wife's always making fun of me
it.
because I pronounce words wrong, and it's like, I'm sorry, I read. Like,
Can you talk us through how you approached converting that to A5?
Yes. Well, first, I would say there's 2 versions. There's the e-Insider version that James Heck edited, and then there's a version Vascavia that I prefer and pre-printed. First thing was like leveling up, right? And then second, there's people often had feedback that the multiply feature for the Gemini, which is like the basis of it, the combat for it. So instead of extra attack, you get like semi-real mirror image that sticks around for a minute, and that gets better and better as you go in levels. So by the time you're 20th level, you got like 4, I think, or 3 semi-real duplicates, and you're effectively attacking as often as a fighter, but you have this extra additive evasion from these mirror images. I simplified how that works a little bit, so it's a little easier to follow and understand it. And then combat maneuvers, figuring out which ones are appropriate. The best part about that is when you're doing your multiply thing, you count as an ally for all of the sanguine knot combat maneuvers, because people are always complaining like, "Oh, I want to do this, but then my buddy won't right?
Yeah, he doesn't want to
get prone on the ground so I can show somebody
clutch.
over him." Yeah, it really hinges on that pretty hard. I think you just get the sanguine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just get the sanguine knot combat maneuver tradition as a proficiency, because I didn't want to have people have to like be like, "Oh, should I pick it up?" Like, no, dude, you should pick it up. And then yeah, the first draft exploration features were all based off double stones, which are kind of like magical walkie-talkies you can use to triangulate with. And I was like, Akeem, we can't just like, it can't be all double stones, right? Like some people are gonna not be into magic rocks, so we need to like provide a non-magic rock option, which we got to eventually. But yeah, that was the last like hurdle that I remember with the Gemini. I was like, Akeem, no.
Right. Well, I am definitely looking very forward to this, even though as one of the data gremlins, it's going to make my February very busy as we're trying to put that data sheet. So on the 20th of January 2026, look at backerkit, and like I said, the link will be in the show notes. All right, Jen, you want to take the mimic moment?
All right, introducing the mimic moment with our brand new mascot, MiMo.
MiMo, mimic moment.
So cute.
Yes. So coming over since the show last was on, we had the release of Our Fearless Leader, which is the martial class reimagined by Jesse Mullins, friend of the show, and Plant Witch Press. So takes the base A5e martial, I should say, and makes the charisma statistic more relevant for its features and whatnot. And there's some new archetypes. There's a little bit more. It moves it away from strongholds, which I know some narrators don't want to do the bookkeeping on it, so they always kind of conveniently forget to introduce that mechanic.
Also, for shorter campaigns, where a stronghold might not make sense narratively, it's nice to have it be more of it goes from strongholds to followers, more or less.
Yes. And then also Rachel Steampunkette's latest books, The Night of the Knife and Martial Artistry, are now available for on-demand print on Drive Through RPG. Pick up your copy today.
Yes.
And there have been several other releases. Third party, for those of you who are new or forgot, the Mimic Moment is our third party roundup. And there have been some other things since before December, but I just cut us off at December and we're just kind of, we're going there. But trust me, there's great stuff always coming out. So keep your filter on, keep level up 5e followed on drive through, turn off or turn on the thing that prevents you from seeing anything that's AI generated, and you'll be good to go.
And on to the first party roundup. Three big things kind of happening recently. We have Gate Pass Gazette number 47, the January issue dropped with four great articles from what I read through. First is the Merland Bazaar by Mark Kenobi, a series of exploration challenges, magic items, a couple monster variants, and NPCs related for life under the sea, down where it's wetter and better. And the next, we've got our Plot Twist Feats by Andrew Engelbright, which is a way of adding a feat but giving narrative prerequisites essentially. So it would put in this plot twist feat. So the first one stuck out was Evil X, and it would delay getting an ASI at your like 4th or your 8th level or one of your feats, and then once you achieve that resolution, that's when your feat kicks in, and it kind of just gives a little something extra, which I just think is really cool in explaining a narrative choice that may not necessarily kick in at 4th level, because sometimes your story doesn't kick in at 4th level sort of situation. And then we've got Heralds of the Sea, Cadfaela's Falcons by Mike, actually, where we get a new faction, the Falcons, a new monster, and a herald archetype, the Wavekeeper, which I'm really excited about because I love all things ocean and water related. It is a hazard of being surrounded by the Great Lakes. So for me, I was like, Water Herald, good pirate. But then it was like, not a pirate. But it was really cool. I'm excited to try it out. Let's be completely honest. I have 4 characters already in mind, all of them equally outrageous. And then finally, we've got Rumor Has It by Adam Roy, which leans into gossip, rumor spreading, and information gathering, both at character creation and utilizing the downtime feature or the downtime activity, journey activity from the pub crawls that was an earlier Gate Pass Gazette. And just, really leaning in that social pillar, which again, I love that A5e has expanded on it, so that this issue in particular really expands on a lot of the features that make A5e special. Is a great way to start 2026. And then, speaking of our Gate Pass Gazette, the 2025 annual edition is going to come to backerkit on, if my math is correct, January the 26th. And that is a collection of the Gate Pass Gazette issues from number 35 through 46. And this year, I feel, was the year that saw a huge spike, or explosion, I should say, in the class features and other features of A5e that make everything stand out from other 5th edition variants. So we got 2 new combat traditions. We started picking up prestige classes again. We started getting variant heritage traits from the core Adventurer's Guide heritages, which was a nice little twist, kind of spices up your dwarf a little bit. What was the one? Minor magics for marshals. So many classes got updated or more class snacks or class feature choices.
Yeah,
which is always kind of really cool. Again, makes all the classes really stand out. 4 heritages, plenty of archetypes. Everything that's included is on their backerkit link, which we will include in our show notes. And then Ian Publishing put out their 2026 What's Coming. There's the Gate Pass Gazette for the annual. There's Alpha Star, their version of Gate Pass Gazette that is the science fiction, science fantasy equivalent to the Gate Pass Gazette. That will be launching March, July, and November of 2026.
Yep.
And then a new book is coming out from Paul Hughes, The Secrets of the Tome. Player options, spells, archetypes, and more for all full spellcaster classes, plus a whole new character class. And that will be coming to Kickstarter, projected in about October, if all goes according to plan. So hopefully,
I can
don't
tell you
worry.
some inside baseball about Game Pass Gazette, though. The way we do it at the Insider and Game Pass Gazette is that we do pitch call windows, right? Or you're on the list of people. It's easy to get on the list. Just email me or Zan, and we'll put you on the list. And it's like, here's what we're trying to do with these issues. Pitch me your best thing. And then we get all the pitches and we blind them. So we don't know who pitched them. We just have the titles and the pitch. And then, like, you wait a little while, you reorder them, and you try to, like, disassociate in your head who did what. And then you score them, and whoever scored highest gets it. Right. So Zan, though, I know in To Save a Kingdom wrote initially all the Cat Phalia Falcon stuff. So like that was their creation. And then also I know that they are obsessed with birds because like they have a pet bird with their own Blue Sky account. It's a very cute little bird. But like, yeah, so like I knew pitching it like
Cracks for
there's
birds.
no way that I'm not gonna get this article
Right.
because like so like it pays to do your homework.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that does wrap up first party and the third party roundups. That's going to probably be like last year was for A5e, a pretty busy year. Looks like 2016 or 2026 is also going to be a busy year for A5e. So keep your ear to the ground, keep your eyes on your feed for this show, and we'll cover it all. However, a note: it's our policy that we do not cover anything that uses generative AI for the data sheet or A5E. Just as a note, we respect what authors as a fellow author. I'm not a very good artist, but I am an artist of photography. I do not think that Gen AI adds anything, and we will not be covering anything that is using it.
I had a guy, a playtester, load up a bunch of stuff in there to make his character. And I was like, why on earth did you do that? And like, yeah, we don't. He's no longer invited in my games anymore.
There you go.
I heard Troy Baker in an interview say something was like, Gen AI can produce content, but it can't produce art. And I think that really just kind of fits how I feel, and I think we all feel about what everyone in the community brings. And it's really important to just remember that this is our art, and we're not here for content. We're here for art.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's well said.
Yeah, well said.
All right.
Okay.
And then just to wrap up, if you want to.
Oh yeah. I like my closing question. I think it's fun. I'd love to hear from both Jen and Mike. So, what is your favorite character you've ever played, or if you're, the perpetual narrator, what character would you love to play? Just to kind of close out with a fun question.
There's only one fair answer. Give me a minute to go get him. I'll be right back.
Okay.
We have to go get him.
Fair enough.
I'll go then at that point.
Yeah,
so, funny enough, I am a Ranger supremacist, deep in my heart of hearts. But I've only gotten to play my fun kooky Rangers in 2014 5e, so I don't feel like it's fair bringing them here. One day I will. But my favorite A5e character was a adept druid that was a middle-aged elf named Dalin, spoke with a god-awful, in my opinion, Russian accent, and was perpetually exhausted at the shenanigans of about half of the party, and then adopted the other half of the party as more of her like literal army of grandchildren. And she just, role play wise, she was one of my favorites. And it kind of like I had written off druids for a hot minute because sometimes no, just in 2014 it felt like everyone was playing the same druid.
Oh, fair.
Until I really got to play an A5e, I was like, oh, they're, as a mechanical side, they're a great class, no matter which edition. But the 2014 problem of people started picking the optimal choices and everything feels the same. It kind of just re-sparked this whole, druids can be so much fun and I don't have to like worry about standing in the front anymore. This is great. Because I was in a martial phase too. So I love my middle-aged grandma, Dalin. just adopting the party, turned in the wizard for trying to give magic artifacts to children. It's a great time.
Excellent. I love it.
And I'll throw out pennies and stuff on like the mat that I could use the marker on, right? So, but I do have one miniature.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So that's
Yes.
Old Man. Old Man is a trainer of heroes who has forgotten most of the training he's done for the heroes he's trained and who those heroes are. So I usually display him as a bard. He just complains to everybody. He always corrects them. There's no way to say his name correctly. No matter how you say it, it's wrong, and he corrects you. So if you're like Old Man, he's like, no, Old Man. If you're like Old Man, he's like, no, it's Old Man. You're doing it wrong. The guy in Zelda who goes up to you and gives you the sword and is like, it's dangerous, take this, go. Like, that's Old Man. Next time you have Rachel on, ask her about Old Man.
Okay.
Zan also knows Old Man.
Okay.
Amazing. I love a good bit with a character like that.
Have you ever seen The Legend of Neil?
No.
Oh. Okay. Are you familiar with Legend of Zelda? Is everyone familiar?
Yes.
Okay, so it's based off of, I don't want to tell you exactly how it begins, but it has kind of a lewd beginning. But this like gas station attendant gets like sucked into Hyrule, and then has to go around being Link. It's awesome. You're gonna see a lot of comedians that you recognize on it, but like it's before they were, any of the FAs. It ended up getting bought up by Comedy Central and stuff, but you can still find it online for free. It's called The Legend of Neil. It's so good. I watch it at least once a year.
All right. Good
It's got the Sklar brothers in it. If you remember the Sklar brothers, they play the two like giant stone statues. It's really good. If you like Zelda, check it out.
All right.
I will look for it. Yes. That's
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, what's her face? Felicia Day. Felicia Day is in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait,
Yeah. Big
what?
deal. I'm telling you, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's called Legend of Neil. Yeah.
I was like, the name
not
just like
crazy.
just came up in something too. I don't know if it was someone telling me something today, and I was like, why is that familiar?
Was she in Mighty Nine as a voice?
Yes.
Okay.
She showed up. I don't know if she showed up in Vox Machina in the animated, but she was in the original campaign.
Good recommendation to close on.
Right? Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike, for joining us, taking some time out. I wish you best of luck on your campaign here, and I'll be backing it myself.
Absolutely.
Even though you gave me a manuscript, I'm still gonna back it.
Yeah, please order a book.
I will.
And there will be stretch goals that you'll want to. I promise.
Sounds good. That's you can count on my pledge. So plus I have to do it for the data sheet. So all right. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Jen, for joining us as a permanent member here. And we will catch you all on the next episode. That is still a little bit in flux, but stay tuned. It'll probably be sometime next month. We will be back talking about everything latest and greatest in A5e. And thank you for joining us. Remember, Mike, all the links will be in the show notes, and Mike's project starts on January 20th on backerkits. Go back it. All right. Thanks, folks, and everybody say goodbye.
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 Have a good night.